think it's official. Like, there is something wrong with me, like, on this trip. What am I doing? Why am I here? I actually just rode 30-something minutes, 40 minutes, whatever, north, just to come here. Like, what the hell? Well, this is douchebag. Oh, no, wait, no, sorry. This is Autotech. So, why am I being such a douche this trip and making my way to all the Harley dealers and stuff, collected poker chips, doing that very thing that I've made fun of people for in the past? I don't have a valid reason. I'm going to chalk it up to... well, not boredom. I mean, I'm not the slightest bit bored, but I guess I'm just exploring and using them as good landmarks, I guess. I'm being a Harley tourist this time around. I guess the main thing is I could just kind of chalk it up to I do enjoy collecting the chips and patches and stuff, you know, just kind of show some of the places that I have been to, and I'm kind of using the Harley dealerships as a way to explore around like the, you know, more of Seattle, because when I'm sitting there in the hotel room and I just look at maps and stuff like that, it's like, you know, like, it's tough to kind of pick like something certain. So you start looking at like the freeways and the interstates and stuff like that, and you know, you don't really venture too terribly far off of them if you even do go off of them. So when I'm doing something like this, it's like, okay, well, you know, now I kind of get a feel for traveling up to Marysville, and you know, or traveling to Renton and seeing what the well, that was interesting, and seeing what the traffic's like, what the lay of the land is like, and you know, and then I can make a stop somewhere at the same time. The last time when I was here in May, you know, I basically, like, if you go back to that playlist, like, I basically just hit all the tourist spots for there. So, you know, it was kind of like, oh man, Pike Place, oh man, Alki Beach, oh man, Gasworks, like, you know, and then it was just kind of like each night I kind of did like a different thing around Seattle. And by did, I mean, like, rode by it or got off the bike and had a cigarette and left. And then when I came here with the Angry Ginger back in July, it was just kind of like, okay, I'll show you like some cool sights like Alki Beach, and we'll basically just cruise, and then we'll, you know, we're gone the next day. Like, this was pretty well just like a pit stop on our journey. So this time it's kind of like, okay, well, I've done, you know, a fair amount of touring around Seattle. Maybe now I should venture a little bit out of it and start seeing what's kind of going on the outskirts, and like kind of go just different places in it and stuff, because you can't go to Alki Beach every single night. I mean, well, you could, like, in theory. Like, I go to Stephen Avenue quite a bit in Calgary. Or maybe I'm just trying to justify a guilty pleasure, and you guys just caught me riding a scooter. You know, grew up, guys, it's actually pretty fun. It's like, yeah, okay, you know, yeah. So I know I had asked you guys this on the previous video where I was doing some Harley tourist stuff in Seattle, but when you guys are on a trip, if you got the time and you're looking for something to do or whatever, do you kill time and go to the local Harley dealer, like, you know, look at the price of bikes, look and see what they're, you know, see what they're asking for them, what their selection is like? Because if you go to different Harleys, you can tell like what's popular in that area. You know, like if you go to somewhere where Dynas are super popular, they're gonna have like a good Dyna selection. You know, Calgary, you go in there and they've got basically 2-to-1 street glides to every other bike in there, because that's probably like their #1 selling bike. So, you know, it's just kind of interesting to see how that type of stuff goes. So, you know, is that something that you go and do? Do you go in there and check it out? Do you like collecting the t-shirts, or do you collect the poker chips, or do you collect the patches, or do you just take a picture of your bike in front of it? I'm definitely curious to see, and I mean, we've definitely got some new people following along since my last adventure to Seattle, so maybe they'll chime in. Well, I'll tell you one thing though that is not cheaper at the American Harley Davidson shops is the goddamn clothing. I don't really wear Harley t-shirts, like they get given to me as gifts and stuff like that, and so, you know, I'm not going to be rude and not wear them or whatever, but I was looking in there. I was just curious. Like, sometimes I like to pick them up and check them out and stuff like that, see the cost. Man, it was like $45 for a t-shirt. It's like, man, that's like $60 Canadian. Like, holy smokes. Like, how do you charge that much for like 150 grams of cotton? You know, I know like all the Harley haters out there just use that for fuel. Like, it's the only place that can have a dealership that only sells clothing and doesn't sell a single bike. And it's like, okay, like, you know, simmer down, bud. Like, I understand that, but it's also the only bike company that can get away with it. So how about that? Well, no, that's not true. I'm sure Ducati could put up some strictly clothing stores in certain locations, and they'd probably do just fine, because that's another lifestyle type brand. I mean, just ask Fast and Fabulous. Yeah. So, you know what there, guys and gals, I don't have a whole lot else to say about the topic of Harley tourism and poker chips, so I'm going to kill this one off right about here. I'm not too far from the 405 I-5 junction, so I'm not too terribly far from my hotel room, and then I'm going to have to figure out what it is I would like to do for dinner. And I got to charge up the batteries in the camera a little bit, or swap them out and then get these ones on the charger. And I'll see where I end up getting to this evening. So I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say below. I mean, you know, basically it boils down to, like, am I a D-bag or am I not? And I don't know if I want to hear the answer to that one, because it might be that ugly truth that I've already known. Make sure you go on and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for taking the time and watching. I think this answers my question.